Hello.
Welcome back. It's Bible Study Brother checking in with you here at Bible Study Girl, the podcast.
I like
We've
it.
never called it that.
It is the
Bible Study Girl, the podcast. This is part 2 of Bible Study Girls Walk. We wanted to, give you more time because normally the episodes run about 30 minutes, and so we didn't want to go over, but we wanted to give you something else to kind of look forward to. So we're back here with part 2, where we last left off was talking about how the divorce in our family affected you spiritually. Now we're going to talk about Bible Study College Girl.
All right. Let's get into Bible Study Girl College Edition. College was for me really I was still in my relationship on and off.
Wait, listen. This is the funniest thing in the world to me.
Pre-college edition?
Yeah,
okay.
It's technically like pre-college edition, but it's like all things leading up. So again, I have a different perception of my sister than she has of herself because I'm her little brother, so I watched her differently. So for me, my sister always wanted to go to college. But the truth is, you tell them.
Yeah, the truth is, I had a full ride scholarship to the University of Central Arkansas. Go Bears. Rah. And I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to go to college because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought speech language pathology would be it for me. But at 18, that's a hard decision to make, like to say this is what I want to do for my life. So I really didn't want to go to college. And my mom, of course, was pushing college because my family pushes education. I decided, along with my best friend at the time, my soul sister, that I was going to make it big. I was going to be a Christian rapper. It was going to happen over the course of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could support myself, my mama wouldn't be able to tell me that I had to go to school. It didn't happen. That was a dream.
It did not.
Yeah, that was a dream.
That was
long deferred. I have no desire really to be a rapper. I was just like, what can I do so that I don't have to go to college?
Question. I have a question about that I'm just not thinking about.
But let me tell you, honestly, I didn't think, because people always talked about how hard college was, I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. And I know that sounds weird to you, but it is the truth.
The fact she didn't want to go.
I didn't want to. I thought it would be so hard, and I would not be able to make it. Because honestly, I was able to get through high school without studying much. But people tell you when they talk about college, it's all like, listen, this is when you think you're smart, but you're not. You wait till you get to college.
So, this is your brain in high school.
This is
your brain on college.
Yes, like
wait, whoa.
And so that was very intimidating.
But my question would be, because at that point, I don't know. No, I hadn't done any rapping at that point. By the time you would have been trying to get this ready before college, I don't think.
No, you hadn't.
Because
you were not a rapper then.
Well, I mean, I was, but I wasn't.
Okay, yes, but I'm just saying.
I guess I can't answer my question. It's not. Yeah. Never mind. Because I was gonna say, did you think it was so easy because you saw me and we're just like, anything he can do, I can definitely do better.
No, it had nothing to do with.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like there would have been no.
No, there was. You weren't. Yeah,
that could have been a good question.
It would have been.
It could have been,
but
it didn't work.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so your failed rap career.
Okay, led me to Bible Study Girl College Edition. My college life was pretty much like my high school life. Like, I'm not a partier by definition of what.
No, you get so wasted
on that apple cider.
Things
yeah, on that apple
sparkly and non-alcoholic.
If it's sparkling, hit me up with that. So my college years were not wild and rowdy. I was still sold out for Jesus, still in my relationship. Do you want me to be honest about my relationship?
Yeah.
Because
you can talk about you in weapon form.
Stop it. Because I was sold out for Jesus, struggling with my faith walk. in my mind, I knew I wasn't going to stop having sex with him. That just was not an option. That's not the way my body is set up. And so when he asked me to marry, I'm just being honest.
It's just
it's you church people.
It's a family thing. No, I understand. So I'm not like, I know what you're saying. It's just it's so funny. But spiritually, these are things that we go through because like this is a huge thing for us. Like it's more of a trait in the sense that like, well, we'll talk about that on another episode because I realize that's gonna be TMI for that. Oh man, I had to mama myself. I almost turned into mama.
Please don't.
I won't.
Please don't.
No.
I mean, I want you to be open and honest. But like,
no.
Don't.
I was gonna.
Don't. Okay. So what I'm gonna say is, we can talk about it. Write it down on a piece of paper so you don't forget. When we had actually broken up because he was cheating on me, and I had made up in my mind that like I'm done with him for good. I went like 2 weeks without talking to him, which was like the longest. He knew I was done. And really in my heart, I had settled that I was done. I was walking away from it. God told me no. I'm walking with no until he asked me to marry him. And I was like,
oh my God. In my timeline, these things are so different.
They are, but they're not. No, he asked me to marry him. And I am a gangster. And I was like, you know what? I'm not having sex with you unless we're married. I mean, I really wasn't that much of a gangster. I was still gone. But he took me at my word. And we went and we got married that week.
Because I think that's something else that you don't understand about yourself, especially in regards to me. Your word is it's not God's word, but in the sense that if you said it wasn't gonna come back void in my mind. And you could be lying to me.
I lie to you all the
time. And it's like, but in my mind, I'm like, she don't lie.
Yeah,
that's
true.
All right, here we are.
But no, so we went and got married. So I was in college. This was my sophomore year of college. I went and got married. Let me tell you what. You want my real story? My wedding day. Let me tell you about my wedding day.
The spiritual aspects of the wedding day.
I was gonna walk you through the day real quick so you can see what my.
Go ahead. Let's do this.
It's a beautiful day.
You know what? Let's do this.
Let me tell you what's up. It's hilarious because our father asked me to go get him some food from Sonic, and I was like, bet. Left the house. I knew I was really on my way to get married, but okay. You want me to get you some Sonic?
This is hilarious.
I will get you some.
Oh my God! I almost feel like we need a part 3 on another episode now. Continue.
So I have my dress. It's the only white dress I have because we get married in the courthouse. I have my white dress in the car with me. I had to change in the car because I can't walk out of the house on like I don't know what day of the week it was, but I can't walk out of the house in this white dress. Like, where you going? Like, mind your business. So I changed.
Which you definitely might have said.
But anyway. So I changed in the car on my way. Like, I park off into like in the neighborhood somewhere. Put the dress on in the car. Drive to the courthouse. Meet him at the courthouse. His daddy dropped him off at the courthouse, and we go and we get married in front of a no smoking sign. I get back in the car, put my regular clothes back on, and go to Sonic. And he's like, "What took you so long?" The line was long. Like, I had stuff to do.
Listen,
so spiritually, where I was under the no smoking sign, knowing I didn't need to get married. He knew we didn't need to get married, but we got married.
He was telling you that you are doing hellfire.
You are doing hell.
No smoking.
Yeah, you are doing hellfire stuff, girl. Go home. Just get the Sonic.
God.
But, I knew I wasn't going to have sex. And so I felt like it's better to marry than burn. We're getting married. So that's where I was spiritually. Even though God told me no, audibly, out loud, even though I heard his voice. And that lets you know you can know God and be so close to him and be so far at the same time. I was so rebellious. So I regret that. So college Sarita was, I wasn't out going to the clubs, but I was being mad rebellious Like, I'm not a drinker, but I was mad rebellious.
That's the crazy thing about your gifts, and what I mean by that, and how your gifts kept you. Your gift of organization and your gift of planning, and how they are from God. Like, if you were anybody else, doing that would have deterred everything. That would have been the moment where you ended up having a baby or any of these things.
True.
But your organization kept you homework done, bills paid, still working hard, while juxtaposing walking away or ignoring God. I should say, you didn't walk away from, you just ignored him.
I ignored him mightily. You know, when I didn't ignore him, every time my heart got broken by my husband at the time, I would run to God crying like, Jesus, I need for you to take it and make it and all this other kind of stuff.
And he would just replay the tape he played for you. No.
And even, but you know, I was trying to use that scripture to use word to validate, like, you honor marriage. I need for you to honor this. Even though I wasn't honoring what he told me to do, I wanted him to honor my mess. I wanted him to bless my mess. So that is Bible Study Girl College Edition. I was
you
married.
You were Deidre Cadden before Deidre Cadden?
I think so.
Golly, that's the funniest thing I've heard.
I was
no shots, but it was funny. Continue.
So I was rebellious. Bible Study Girl College Edition was rebellious. We were married for like a year and a half and got a divorce. But that still didn't. All of this is done secretly, like, you know, secretly as far as I knew. But to find out years later, like, somebody asked me, didn't you and so-and-so get married? I'm like, yeah, how did you know that? Anyway, so people know. It was in the streets. I just didn't know it. Anyway, so we got divorced, and the divorce happened for me in my timeline of my life. The divorce happened after my divorce.
Yeah, that's why I was like.
So you wanted to talk about divorce, but it's not
in my head, like, and
that's
where it first hit
timeline.
Me. Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute.
No,
it wouldn't have been.
No,
and that's
wasn't.
why I was like.
So divorce happened for me.
So now I have a whole nother question.
Yeah. So the divorce happened for me after my divorce.
Yeah.
And again, nobody knew I had been married and divorced because I was still fooling with the man.
Wait. There's a huge question here now.
Okay.
Because as we talked about, because I was getting the timelines mixed up.
Uh-huh.
So when you couldn't prove them wrong and do something better, where did that take you spiritually? Because you said your whole goal at that point was, I'm going to show you what this is supposed to be.
I was going to show them what it was supposed to be like. I was going to. It took me to a bad place spiritually. Yeah. Like, everything about my relationship with him, it grew me, but it grew me through heartache and tears, and it didn't grow me and like, oh, you've really encouraged me and uplifted me, and now I'm better. I became better after being bitter.
Yeah. Was the second divorce
the divorce between our parents?
Yes.
Okay.
Divorce between our parents. Was that more so like, well, I mean, did it give you any sort of reprieve? Like I'm saying, because your whole motivations at that first one was, I want to prove you wrong.
I want to prove you wrong.
So then when it finally like happens and they're separate, did that, you know, even if it's not good, did that bring you some sort of peace? I mean, it brought up the God in you, but you get what I'm asking?
It was at that point when they got divorced, that is when I shared with Bible Study Mama that I had been married and divorced. That's when it stopped being like a secret thing. Like, and I did share with her like the pain that I felt cannot even compare to what you're going through, because you guys are married for 20 something years, but I kind of get it, you know. I kind of get not 20 years, a long time,
because I was gonna say I was 18, so
okay, so 19 years,
yeah,
whatever, close enough.
I'm not giving them that cigar. Continue.
Okay. So I did use that as an opportunity to say to her, hey, you know, your girl is out here. That would be me, Bible study girl, college and post college
Your girl is
edition.
out here.
Trying to make things right. I couldn't make it right. You know, I'm here for you, Mom. I want the best for you. We're gonna make it through this together.
Mhm.
So that's where divorce led me.
So-
I didn't feel really vindicated, or I don't, I just, it was a sad time. It was a sad time for our family.
Okay, now let's get to World Traveler, Bible Study Girl World Traveler.
Bible Study Girl World Travel actually started in high school, and I thought about this the other day. I thought about how my family has been so gracious to me.
Ugh,
Um,
rough times for me,
Rough times for Joe, but
especially that day.
gracious times for me. When I was a senior in high school, I took French because it's a romantic language, and I was into the romance. And my French teacher was
As you do, you take French.
you take French. I was trying to think of some French, but I can't even think of any.
Um,
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
That's all I
Un,
got.
deux, trois.
Okay.
Je m'appelle.
So she gave us the opportunity. She was talking about traveling in class. And I said out loud, I would love to go to France. That would be awesome. And so she starts planning this trip. She's like, you think you could really go? And I'm like, yeah, I don't have any money, but yeah, I could go. Like, I think I could go to France. And so I say to Mom, like, yeah, the teacher is talking about it. It could be a trip. It could be a thing. So we have like this group meeting. Anyway, long story short, I got the opportunity to go
She
to
did.
France. And this
She wasn't coming back.
yeah, this is pre 9/11. So
Very-
you could go
It was
up
my
to the
fresh.
gate.
It was 6th grade for me.
Yeah, this was pre 9/11, so people could walk you up to the gate. So
Mhm.
there's a picture of me and Bible study brother. I'm gonna have to try to find it at the gate when I'm on my way to.
Oh, I was broken. She wasn't coming back. Like I didn't like planes. I hadn't been on a plane since probably like 4 years prior. or
Yeah, so
something
he
like
was
that, so I don't even remember.
traumatized. He was like, "Oh my gosh, what are they doing with you?" But yeah, so that was my first taste of international travel. When I graduated with my undergraduate degree, I went on my first cruise, and my life was forever changed. I wanted all the cruises. So, God has been gracious, and I have been able to travel the world. There's so much more of the world I want to see.
Well, I more so meant because we're gonna get there, but
Okay.
I meant the Bible study because initially you start doing contract stuff with your degree.
Yes.
So you moved down to Augusta. You've been to
Yeah.
Houston.
Oh, you
and
meant
then
that kind of travel.
that kind
Okay,
of travel.
let me
Like,
talk
we're
to you about
starting
that.
there.
Okay, so interesting. My romantic relationship definitely plays into a lot of my decisions. We have broken up again. Now this is after divorce. We've already been divorced, but we're still trying to work it out because I don't like failure. I don't like feeling like a failure, and I want this to work, even though God clearly tells
But
me no.
Specifically, out of all the failures I can stomach in life, we cannot I can't do relationship failure. That I almost said some very not nice words, but it itches all kinds of places.
Yeah, it does.
It
does something.
There's nothing satisfactory about a failed relationship.
It's so for me, I never wanted to be divorced. I wanted to be the one to do it right. And so the divorce was a failure to me. So anytime he was willing to like try to work on it and, would tell me I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, I would be like, okay, let's do it. And so honestly, we had broken up again. Like this was like my second engagement ring. Gave it back because the Lord wouldn't let me sleep. I was like, I cannot do this. He was like, cool. Like, that's fine. Of course, I was heartbroken. And so I went to a convention and I won a basket there with a company. So I called the company just to talk about job potentials.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a job before I graduated college. Before I got my graduate degree, I had a job. I graduated in August and I had a job in May. And so I actually moved to Augusta in July before graduation. I had to fly back to be able to walk across the stage, but I started working before I ever graduated. So I wanted to get away. I wanted to get away from him. I did not even want to be in the same state with him, but God used that to get me into isolation. It caused me to know him for myself in a very real way. Like, I got sick while I was in Augusta. My back went out, and
you've been, what's funny is like it is literally parallels. Seriously, no, because at the time that when you graduated, that would have been my first year. Yeah. And so again, that was during both our separations. That was during
we were both
during
separated.
the death of our great grandmother. And
no, she had not passed away yet.
2000 was my
she
freshman
passed in
year
2008. I was.
Oh no! You're right. Yeah, you're right. I was home, but it was still a part of the separation because the breakup had happened. For me, the divorce happened, and then
it was all at the same time. So I moved.
So we both were in the
we both were in separation. I got to be in a different state. I didn't have to deal with.
You didn't have to translate for us.
I didn't have to translate for you guys. I was alone and isolated, and God used that time to grow me. The church, like before I ever moved to Augusta, we found a church home for me. Mom went with me because she was freaking out that I was moving away. Like, you are going to a different state. I need to see where these people are going to put you. Mind you, this is like a travel therapy agency. Like, they decide where I'm going to live. Now, they did give me some options. Like, if you feel like this is not going to, we can work some things out. But so she was like, no, I need to know where you're going to be. So we went before I ever moved just to like tour, like, see, Mom, these are brand new apartments. They're still building them. Like, I will be okay. So we were there visiting in Augusta, and we went to Dairy Queen, and we met a man at Dairy Queen. He was a deacon at the church that I ended up joining. And he was just, random conversation. And he's like, Mama, she talks to everybody. Everybody. And she's like, yeah, we're here because my daughter's moving here. And
too much.
Yes. And gave him all the information. And he's like, do you need a church home? And yes, she does. She needs Jesus. So he's one of those good old deacons. He had a CD of his pastor's sermon, and he gives me the CD. He's like, hey, listen to this. Let me know what you think, or just when you come, give us a try. And that is the church that I became a member of. That CD was fire. So I was very involved, dedicated member of that church, but the nature of travel therapy is that you travel. And so I was there for 9 months, and then I moved to Houston. And there's a story behind my move to Houston too.
Because you were in Houston then when everything.
Yes, I was in Houston.
Houston.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess because it's man. So so here's what we're gonna do.
Do you want me to get us to Houston? And then we can be like.
Well, this is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Because I think that's more of a huger podcast, because that podcast we do need to kind of all discuss what our great grandmother was for us.
Okay, but can I get you to Houston?
You can get me to Houston.
Do you want me to get you to Houston?
I kind of want you to get me to now.
To now?
You got to get me to now.
Okay. Well, you opened up the question about the traveling, but I'm going to get you to now.
I know, but
all of that.
There's so many.
There's so many steps in my life.
So many steps.
You get it in the blog. I give you bits and pieces of my life. So this is a grand overview of my faith journey. Where's Bible Study Girl today? In 2019, I was still dealing with the
weapon formed.
That was a long time to go. Of course, there were dudes in between, but again, that is my
there?
There were.
Were there?
Do not discount the dudes. They were there.
I'm not discounting the dudes. I'm discounting the dude.
Stop.
Moving on. I'm sorry. That was not.
He's a hater.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me for I have sinned.
Okay, so again, I'm still dealing with this failure. And so we did the dance of, okay, now we're going to get married again. And it's going to stick. And it's going to work. And it's going to be so right. And it wasn't. God clearly told me no before. He clearly told me no throughout. No. And really, I was hoping like, dude, why don't you just walk away? But that's not what the Lord, he told me
Mm-hmm.
no. So spiritually, went through a major depression last year after breaking off,
Breaking
many-
the chains.
breaking the chains that were holding me
Healing
down.
the wounds
Right,
from
because-
weapon form.
Because I don't like failure. And I don't like to feel like a failure. Spiritually now I'm in a better place. I'm much freer. It
Mm.
led me to writing a blog. You pushed me to podcast because this is not my lane. This is not my lane. But God is using
Mhm.
my pain, my missteps to bless other people to say, hey, because there is a misconception that I have my life together, and I don't. I'm rebellious. I'm hard-headed. Like, I get it wrong all the time. I get it wrong. And
You just put on. You have an amazing saved face.
do I?
Well, that's the thing, because a lot of the time we as a family are not open about sharing,
That's true.
because you will not, and I repeat, you will never in your life have the authority to use anything in my life as a weapon against me.
Yeah,
That's just not.
That's not
how
I think,
we-
I know that's a lot of it. Like, there will be
That's not how
nothing.
I
So
roll.
as I share, just to be open and to let people know, hey, life is hard for me, just like it's hard for you. But the great thing is that God's grace is sufficient, and it covers all of us, no matter what your individual or personal story is. Like, we all have missteps. As much as I love the Lord, I mess it up I'm not gonna say every time, but a lot of the times I miss the steps, and I be falling down them because I'm clumsy, like in real life.
Jeez.
So yeah. So that's my faith walk right now.
Yeah.
My faith is stronger. It's stronger than it has ever been, because I'm more open to letting God truly lead me. I spent a lot of my life trying to be in control, but right now I'm in a season where whatever you want, that's what I'm giving you, Lord.
In the first episode, we talked about your budding gifts. And now I think is an amazing time to tell people about, in a minute or two.
Okay.
We can go over a little bit on this episode.
Okay.
About Straight from the Soul.
Oh, Straight from the Soul. Straight from the Soul is an event planning company that is the brainchild of myself and Bible study cousin, Tamika. It is our initials, SFTS. Straight from the Soul. Joe always tries to add himself on,
Just God.
but he's not.
As an executive producer.
So
Just God is here.
we have recently just launched our event planning company. We're very excited. Our motto for 2020 is booked and busy, baby.
And not in that Instagram model way. But continue.
Oh, that's an Instagram.
Oh
model
my
thing?
God, it is a thing.
You know, I'm not hip.
Busy catching flights.
Okay.
Take me back.
So yeah, that's me. Straight from the Soul is
No judgment.
out.
It's funny.
The you should be able to follow us at this point on Instagram and Facebook. It's SFTS Events on Instagram.
The logo is amazing.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We worked really hard to find a logo that fit both of us. We wanted to show unity and the fact that we're royalty. We're queens. We are killing the game when it comes to your events. We are there to take them to the next level. So, yeah. Thank you for plugging that. I wasn't going to.
Well, this is your first episode of your faith walk.
This is
And
true.
your faith walk has led you to
straight-
accepting your gifts.
And to accepting my gifts. And, yeah.
And
so
this is something that through your life you've been doing. And this is just your
True.
first time bringing it into a larger
into a
platform for the
larger
Lord.
platform. It's scary.
It should be.
It is very, very scary for me to put it out there and say, yes, this is what we're going to do. 2019 was a lot of faith, like God saying, do you trust me? We'll go. And so this is another instance of me saying, okay, you can have it. I'm going. Like, we've been talking about Straight from the Soul for years. Like, every family event, every party is just a Straight from the Soul production. Joe, stop trying to put yourself in there.
All right. I'm not trying. Just God allows me to speak. No. Okay.
And so 2020 is the year where we put our hands in his hands and let him guide us. And I'm trusting and I believe in him. If we use our gifts, he's going to make room for us. So, yeah, there it is.
As always, remind yourself to go to BibleStudyGirl.com. My sister posts blogs every day because it is not just about I preach or you preach. It is we preach. So be sure to leave your testimonies in the comments. Follow SFTS events on Facebook and everywhere else. And make sure that you're checking in because there are a lot of things that are going to be going on. Send your testimonies or make sure you email BibleStudyGirl2019 at gmail.com. Oh man, that's a mouthful. But BibleStudyGirl2019 at gmail.com. You don't have to, like, anything that you share, unless you say, hey, you can use this, or hey, I don't know who this might help, will just be a conversation between you and Bible Study Girl, because we are all out here to help one another. We are here to show you that our walks aren't as different as they seem. While they may be from different perspectives, these different perspectives can help you enlighten yourself, become closer with God, and make it through the stumbling blocks that are called life, because though weapons may form, they will never prosper on your life.
I like how you wrap that up. And until we meet again, guys, keep preaching.
Goodbye. That was something we could try.
I don't know.
See y'all next week.